Hey, it's Joe. How to start a business with no money and no credit. If you're like me, and you find that you're in a situation where you have no money and you have no credit, and this happened to me back in 1991. It's been a while. But when it happened, it was very painful, and it's as vivid to me today as it was back then, without the pain these days. But I remember it well, and I don't ever want to go back there again. And you want to find a way to make that happen. So let's say you don't have money and you don't have credit to make this happen, or maybe you do have credit and you do have some money, but you don't yet know how to make money. You also want to not put yourself at risk. You don't want to put what you do have at risk. And I think it's really important, if you're starting something new, that you learn how to limit your risk in any type of deal that you do. And to do that, you want to start with no money. And all the businesses that I've started have been bootstrap businesses. I've started with very little money. The software that I created called pushbuttonautomarketer.com, it's a big system. We've spent millions of dollars developing that software over the years. We've had it running and developing it and continuing to have it expand and grow for well over a decade, maybe 15 years that thing has been running in different versions of it. And it has always paid for itself. We'd build a piece of it and we would sell that piece of it and make money off of it. So we'd spend a little bit of money and build it, and then we'd build another module and another module and another module. And over time, we've built this amazing, fully fledged automation system for real estate investors with lots of different pieces, lots of working pieces to it that have literally cost millions and millions of dollars to create in coding and in infrastructure and building all that. But none of it came out of my pocket. I didn't have to invest any of it. I didn't have to go out and find joint venture investors or use my own cash to make it happen. I was able to do it and sell it as I went and grow it as I went by bringing in subscribers to that system. You can do the same thing with real estate investing. You can buy properties using the for rent method and flip them and make chunks of cash. And then you can use that cash either to live on, or once you do it enough, you'll have excess. And you'll be able to take that money and you'll start investing it and keeping these properties for the long term. You can buy properties subject to or multi-mortgage or land contract. You can buy properties lease option, although I don't recommend buying that way, sell that way. If you learn the zero down structure hierarchy, you'll learn what type of structures to use for what type of deals that you do. And I teach that in most of my programs because it's so important to understand all the tools you have for financing. Financing is the most important part of real estate investing. And but you don't want to use bank financing because that puts you too much at risk. So you use seller financing to make all this stuff work. And that's the way that you do it with no credit, because you don't have to go to the bank. You don't have to qualify. You don't have to have any income. You can do it with zero. You can be unemployed with bad credit, living in the homeless shelter. And if you've got a telephone, if you can get yourself a smartphone that has internet access, go over to the Starbucks and be able to get access to Craigslist and to Zillow. You can start calling those people and putting deals together if you have the knowledge that I teach on these videos, in my mentor program, on the Push Button Auto Marketer. You can use those techniques to make that happen without spending any money if you don't have any money. So you can get going. You don't have to have $10,000 to join my mentor program. You don't have to have $200 to get the auto marketer. You don't have to have any money to buy anything except you'll need a phone. And maybe you can even borrow that from somebody. Those are ways to get your business going. You just have to use your brain and use your skills and use these techniques that I teach, and you can get where you want to be. All right, I hope that helps. Good luck. Subscribe to my channel. Go to zerodowninvesting.com and learn how to do this working with me personally for 6 months. It's expensive, it's like going to college for a semester, but you'll get there faster in most situations. Also go to pushbuttonautomarketer.com. It's also got some good training in it, not me personally, but audios that I've created. And it's also got all the automation and systems that you can use to build your business. And go to joecrumpblog.com and get on my free newsletter. There's a lot of free videos there as well that can help you get started if you have zero money to make that happen. All right, good luck to you.